Shout out for today goes to Doug, new subscriber, and he named himself after the little guy Doug from Godzilla vs. Kong. So you get a shout out today, man. What's up, guys? It's me, Cool Robert, and I just got one of my Christmas presents here. Monsterverse Mechagodzilla. So this is Mechagodzilla from Godzilla vs. Kong, part of the Monsterverse line, made by Playmates, same company that made the Skullcrawler I have. This figure looks pretty cool. Love the translucent spines. Also comes with this cool power breath effect that you can plug in the mouth. And now it looks like he's shooting his atomic breath at something. So this figure is pretty good, but I think it can be better with some modifications. So what I plan to do is use an X-Acto knife to cut here are the arms, cut off the hands, and cut off this part of the head right here. That way I could put in a joint to make the arms move better. Same thing with the head. Also plan on doing something similar with the tail. Cutting each part with an X-Acto knife, then drill some holes into each piece, glue a metal bendy wire in here, that way the tail can be bendable. And I'm gonna do that to the tail before I put it back on the figure. But before I do anything, I want to fix the legs, because the legs, you kick it back, yeah, the legs have a little loose problem here. And the biggest problem is they're in a spot that I can't really get to. I think I might be able to use the glue and drop a little bit inside that joint right there. Move it around a bit to work the glue inside. Hopefully that'll tighten it up a bit. Alright, this looks a little weird right now, but I started adding a little bit of glue into the leg right there, that joint where my fingernail's pointing, and I can actually feel it getting a little bit tighter. It's still loose, but it wasn't as loose as it was earlier. I could actually feel friction in there. So what I'm gonna do is add a little bit more glue right in there, and hopefully that fixed the loose problem on this leg. Alright, looks like it worked. Finally got glue in his legs, and now they're not as loose as they were originally. Shake it and it's not going down like it used to. Before, if I shook it like this, it would just go back down. But now the tightness is there. I can actually feel decent friction in the legs. So what I did is I recently bought this super glue that's perfect to go in small spaces that you can't reach. Squeezed a little dab in the joint in there and moved the leg around so the glue would go in. And after it dried, it brought back friction in the legs. So now you can stand up like this without leaning forward. No, not like that. More like this. And now I'm moving on to the tail here. So I already cut off part of it. My plan is to get a piece of bendy wire, drill a little hole in each of these little parts. That way the tail can be bendable. So I got some sort of bendy wire. I'm gonna drill holes into each of these pieces here. Just need to find the right drill size. I think I need something slightly bigger. Okay, this might be slightly more challenging than I expected, because when I drill into these, the red piece almost wants to slide off. And when I drill into this, the red piece almost came off of it. So I guess I'm gonna have to use some glue to glue around it, and hopefully that'll keep it in as I'm drilling inside of this thing. Alright, so I glued a little bit of the seam right there between this spine and that little part right there. And I'm using this clamp to hold them in place. And in the meantime, I glued the bendy wire in here. Brushed a little bit of this glue on there. And put a little dab of this glue on the tip. That way both can make a strong bond in there. And hopefully it will stay on for a really long time. So we need to wait for that glue to dry. In the meantime, I think I thought of an idea. So my plan is to remove both pieces, Dremel them up a little bit. The idea is to separate both pieces, Dremel them out a bit, and then put them on that bendy wire while they're glued. Alright, got those peeps. Okay, I can't talk right apparently. I got both pieces separated here. See that? And I Dremeled them a little bit. So my plan is to glue both sides of these pieces and then hold them there like so as the glue's drying. I hope that better explanation than what I did earlier. But before I do that, I think I'm gonna paint these pieces black. Give them like a black base coat. Alright, these pieces are all sprayed up. I'll do the same thing for the other pieces, but for now I'm gonna wait for these ones to dry. I'll do the same thing for each piece of the tail. Okay, here's what I got so far for the tail. These two pieces have been glued in, and now they're part of the tail. And I also made sure to use super strong glue that works with flexible material, so they should be able to stay on there for a long time. So I got these two pieces, but there's still a few more to add on here. Alright, the tail is all complete. I actually had to take 3 of these pieces off and re-glue them because they got a little loose. But the tail's together now, and started painting it a little bit. Okay, good news. Just got something in the mail that'll help out with Mechagodzilla here. Got these little action figure joints. So what you do is you assemble these, and how they work is they move like this and you can rotate them. So I think these large pieces right here will work for the arms. Actually, let me look real quick. Alright, yeah, I think they'll work. They look like they're a decent size. So what I'm doing here is taking off the arm, slicing it right here, drilling some holes in drill a hole into here and then on this part of the arm. That way, these joints will go in and the arms will be able to move because look at this. They don't move. It's literally like, the arm is literally like one single piece instead of 2 joints that should be able to be in there and move the arm. It should be something like this. But it isn't. Alright, got the arm off, but I think I'm going to cut off a piece of it and glue it back in. But before I do that, I'll chop off part of this arm. Alright, trying to be careful here. Huh, not too bad. And I still got that piece. Alright, get my drill out, try to get the drill bit to the same size as this peg, that way it can go in there. Alright guys, just found out something interesting. One of these drill pieces from one of my dad's drills can actually fit in the Dremel right here. So what I did is I matched the peg here with the size of this drill, and I think it's big enough. Also tape up this part so I know how deep the drill needs to go in. I already used my Dremel to make a starter point. Now let's do this. Alright, let's see how good that worked. Oh, look at that, it fits! Now I have to do the same thing to the arm here. Wow, that's a loud squeaking sound. Haha, successful. Look at that. Now this arm's got some decent articulation. I'll do the same thing to the other side. Now this figure is coming together along nicely. And the reason I took the hand off of this arm and left the hand on this arm, so I know which arm went into which piece right here. I'll chop off this arm as soon as I get the ball joint that I need for it. Alright, so I did something for Mechagodzilla's chest here. Used the Sculpey, so I used the milliput and sculpted the little gap between the breakaway piece and the chest here, so it looks like one whole piece. Doesn't look 100% good, but I think it's good enough. And I don't think it'll be noticeable once I get this thing all painted. Alright, something just came in the mail today that should help us with this figure. I got more custom ball joints. So they're similar to the ones I have for the arms right here. Only these are ball joints. Basically gonna do the same thing the Geek Chest Steve did, where he chopped off the hands, glued the ball joints on so the hands can move. Alright, now let's get this thing out of the bag. Oh, looks like one of these pieces already came out. Well, I'll figure out what to do with that one later. But for now, I think I'll need a... Alright, give me a minute to figure out which one of these will work for the hands.
A few moments later.
Alright, just watched Steve's video, and he used these slightly larger ball pegs right here, so I'm gonna do that. Alright, got one. There we go. Alright. And I already drilled a hole in the hand right here. And dremelled out a little space. But I might need to chop off part of the thing here. I think we'll go about half. There we go. I might need a stronger tool to cut through it. Alright, got both of these little pieces cut in half, and they should be able to fit in the hand here now. Little test. Come on, you going. I have to press it down on the table here to give it some force. Oh, I think I see what the problem is. Alright, look. There's a little bit of extra plastic in the hole. I think I can use the X-Acto knife to cut out some of that extra stuff. Now I'm telling you guys this because I care. Be careful while using an X-Acto knife, because I have cut myself on this thing once and it hurts. Right. I think I got those extra things out. Oh wait. A little piece hiding right there, but not for long. Ha ha ha. Ah, there we go. Almost looks like a robot spider. Like that's his eye, and he's just going like. Beep, boop, 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 beep, boop, boop, beep. And as for this little guy, he's gonna go in the arm right here. Probably should take this off so I could try to fit it in. I'll get the Dremel. Alright, here we go. Yeah, I think it's the right size. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the right size. I hate that screech it makes. I hate that screeching noise. I use my X-Acto knife to trim the edge a little bit. The edge. On this day, I see clearly. Alright, enough with the corny jokes. Alright, let's see if this will go in. Ha ha! Now we are cooking with peanut oil. Not literal peanut oil, because that would be weird. Alright, we got our buddy Mechagodzilla, and I got both the peg and the ball joint glued in. Haha! Now Mechagodzilla can rotate. I might have made a little mistake here. Alright, I have an idea on how to make the head articulated. So I got my knife here, but unlike what Steve did where he cut it off at the neck, I'm going to cut right here on the head. And then I'm going to hollow out the space in the neck, glue this piece in, and then I'll glue the peg here into the head. Alright, let's see if I can get this head chopped off. I'm using this knife because I don't think the X-Acto knife can get through the head here, because I think the head's a little too thick. I'm gonna start right here between the spines. Try not to cut myself in the process, but I'm probably gonna get cut regardless. working. Now I'm gonna start here. Oh, so far it's working. Alright, got it cut off. Now to trim the head a little bit. So I'll drill a hole, I think, right here, and this piece will go in. Then, try to hollow out this piece. And then this will go in here. Mission accomplished. Got both pieces in the head, and now his head's got full articulation. So he can look up, look down a little bit, look side to side, and you can create that scene where he bursts out at the Apex facility and just goes, just looking at Godzilla's direction. Now I got the other hand, the same articulation. Unfortunately, they can't move around because the ball joint's too deep into the arm, but it's okay, they can still rotate. So it's not the biggest complaint in the world, but it is what it is. Thank you, modeler assistant, for giving me these little ball joints to help me get this guy better articulation. You guys rule. Alright. Just got some silver paint here and thinned it down some. Gonna pour it in the airbrush and gonna start painting this thing. Okay, tried to finish off the rest of this guy with the airbrush, but it's not acting right for some reason, so I'm just gonna have to paint this thing by hand. Alright, we are close to the home stretch, ladies and gentlemen. Mechagodzilla's almost complete. Got the head painted, the body painted, the tail painted, everything. And I had to replace this joint right here because the other one broke. Luckily, that pack of joints came with 2 extra sets of these joints right here. So I got the tail painted with the airbrush. And I actually paint the head by hand. And it looks pretty good. Head still moves. The arms move. So do the hands. And now the tail has a bendy wire, so you can move it. I don't think it can go any further. So now I can't recreate the scene where Mechagodzilla tries to use his tail on Kong. Oh well, the tail is still like a whip of some sort. Because if you guys have seen Godzilla vs. Kong, you know Mechagodzilla used his tail as a whip, just whoosh, whipping everyone. And now all we have to do is paint some parts of him red, like his eyes, the tips of his spines, and some parts here in his ribs and arms. I'll try to go off what I saw in the movie, and I'll use some photos as a little reference to help, so wish me luck. And the red I'm going to be using for this guy is this one, the Craft Smart Red. Ladies and gentlemen, Mechagodzilla is all complete. I love how he turned out. Gave him this metallic silver color. And so, with the red paint, I went over the spines here, went over some parts here on the chest, and did the arms, the eyes. And then I used the same red, but this time used the airbrush to go over some of those spots to give them some sort of highlight to make them look like they're glowing. I think I did a good job on that spot. I think I went a little overboard here. Here are the eyes. They don't look 100% good, but it's close enough. Got to recreate the arms that glow kind of like in the movie. And I know he didn't really have lights around the legs here, but I decided to airbrush them just so they didn't feel left out. And the tail has a bendy wire so you can move the tail. Alright, let's get some size comparisons in here. Alright, so here's Mechagodzilla next to 2 other customs. We got Bunyip and Titanus Sargon. Here he is next to Titanus Methuselah, who I recently painted. Here he is next to Scar King, who I recently got. I think Scar King should be a little bigger, like to here. Here he is next to 2 other Monsterverse Titans. We got Rodan and Mothra. And here he is next to the monster he ripped in half, the Skullcrawler. Well, not this one in particular, but these are both Playmate figures. And here's Mechagodzilla next to his archenemy, Godzilla. Alright, I am so happy to see my custom Mechagodzilla all complete. I'm so glad I got the joints for the hands and arms here and the head. A big thank you to the model assistant joints and the hobby-based joints. Without you guys, I wouldn't be able to make this Mechagodzilla more articulated. Alright guys, so let me know what you think of my custom modified Mechagodzilla figure. Do you think it's cool? Do you think there's something I should change about it? Let me know in the comments below. I probably won't feature this guy in my take on Godzilla vs. Kong. What? But I will have a different Titan as the villain for Godzilla vs. Kong. Don't know who yet. If you guys want to comment some ideas, comment down below. So until next time, I will see you Monsterverse fans next time. Bam!